Hey guys, it's Missy Gordon, the Metamystic here. Welcome to my new show, the Metamystic Show. I have already tried to launch this once before, and I'm just gonna be totally honest with you guys. It has been one hell of a journey mentally, going through everything I have with my Christian faith deconstructing. I mean, I was literally a minister. It was my identity. And it's not just about being a minister, right? It's about the way I was raised, and both my parents are ministers as well. And my first thoughts that I can recall were looking up into the starry night sky and asking God, like, what is forever? Because it used to scare me. Like, I'm already stuttering. It's the first episode of my show. Actually, I've already tried to launch this once before, which is my point. You can go watch those 2 episodes of my, show. I canceled myself. Let's just be honest. I canceled myself. I'm making this way too complicated. I just need to come on here and talk about things. Talk about some things. All right, so I looked up into the night sky as like a 2-year-old and was afraid of the idea of eternity. So this has been a lifelong pursuit for the truth. No matter what, it's not about me not being a minister anymore. This is just me, right? This is just me. I'm always going to be this way. I'm always looking for truth. I'm always looking for answers. I'm always looking for the new perspective. I literally spent hours and hours and hours and hours a day, the good charismatic Christian that I was, praying in tongues, playing my soaking music, playing my Bethel, right? Pacing back and forth in my bedroom, visions, dreams, angelic encounters, crying, shaking on the floor, the whole damn thing, right? I'm not somebody that was like a little bit in there. It was my entire existence, my entire life. I didn't really have many close friendships. I kind of secluded myself to a sort of a monk, hermit type lifestyle because I thought that was the holy thing to do. I really, truly committed. I freaking committed, all right? So starting with all of that, when I left the ministry that I started, I believe I started the ministry in 2018 or 2019. Officially, I started my online ministry. And I'm going to show you guys a clip of myself talking about this a little bit. But let me just say, I gave my life to that ministry. I spent my whole day, my whole night, everything, responding to emails, praying for people, sending people videos. I gave my entire life to that for 2.5 straight years. And before that, I spent 7 years in full-time ministry with both of my parents. And then before that, I was a zealot. I was 14 years old, standing on the stage in front of my entire school, telling everybody that God healed me from self-harm, trigger warning, and I gave my life since I was a kid to all of this. So that is my just intro, right? But what I'm really here to talk about is this specific period of time, which was from May 2021-ish to now, what is today's date? The 27th of October 2022. So May 2021 to October 2022, where we are now. I don't even know where the hell I am. I'm in 5 timelines. Love and light. Okay, so this is my idea for the show. This is my concept. So we will see how this goes. I have recorded myself compulsively. Like, I keep a video diary. I did not think anybody was going to see this footage. I have all of these videos that I kept over the course of my entire deconstruction process, just ranting to my phone, basically. Talking about what I was learning, what I was thinking about, what I was going through. And so this is my concept for this show, at least for this first part of what I want to show you guys, is my deconstruction process, right? There is so many ways I can go with this, and this is why I've had a hard time starting this show, because there's a side of me where I want to take topics, like I want to talk about eternal conscious torment and annihilation, and like talk about the different views of hell, and then have another topic that's talking about I don't know, universalism versus like my lights, action, camera, action. So for those of you who are listening to this on the audio, I just dropped all my lights, so love and light. I'm a mess, y'all. This is me. Take it or leave it. I'm going to show you what I've been through. I am a former Christian minister. I gave my life to Jesus. I did everything I possibly could to be a slave for Christ, like Paul talked about. Okay, this was not like a little thing for me. This is not just like a little Sunday. I go to Sunday church and that's it. This was my every day, my every thought, my every breath, my whole freaking identity, right? Okay, while being LGBT, right? Sitting in the sermons where everybody's amening, right, to the pastor saying, oh, we the gay agenda, we've got to stand for our children, we've got to stand for America, the nationalism, the Trumpism, all of it, okay? And I was sitting there, and there's just so many ways I can go with this show, and there's so many things to talk about, so this is why I'm deciding to just kind of leak my own hidden content, because there is a process that I went through that was so astronomically challenging to the psyche that all, I would say every and all Christian deconstructor is currently going through right now or has already gone through. So I want to find you. I want to connect with you. I want to share with you, because this has been so hard, right? Like, this has been so freaking, just the feeling of being ostracized, the feeling of you don't really have a community anymore. You can't connect with the very people that we had around us, many of us who have deconstructed our faiths or are currently in the questioning process. A lot of us, the only people that we even know are like in that church community. There are family, there are friends, there are pastors, there are our leaders, right? And when we start to deconstruct, it's like, who the hell do we even have? We don't have anybody. We were told to stay away from the world. We were told to stay away from that secular culture, right? We don't really have anybody. So I volunteer as tribute. I will put myself on the internet and look like a freaking idiot for the sake of the collective, all right? All right. Because seriously, I have been trying to start this podcast for a year. So here I am. It is not going to be perfect. And that is what I have come to. And I am a Virgo sun and rising. So that is very challenging for me. But I want to connect with you guys. I want to find you. I want to send out the waves. I guess that's the sound of waves. And there go the lights, everybody. Let's get a round of applause for her, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh no, you're so kind. Oh, the roses. Oh my God, thank you. Oh my God, thank you. Oh, you shouldn't have. I don't even know you guys yet, but I love you. And I know we will connect and we will find each other. So I'm just going to start banging out episodes, right? I left my career, if we want to call it that. It was never a career to me being a minister. It was my freaking vocation, right? But I have felt so sad this past year. It's like when you're connecting with so many people at all times and you're just like giving your whole heart, you're praying for people, you're counseling people, you're sharing, it's like, and then to go from that big amount, that ball of energy every single day to just being like completely isolated and secluded like I have been for the past like year and a half now, it's been like a hole in my heart. A God-shaped hole in my heart, right, everybody? But in all seriousness, I'm ready now to get back out here because I got some shit to say, right? It's been brewing, it's been percolating. This has been marinating since May of 2021, and we are in October 2022. It has taken me this long to get here just so I can create this first episode. So hello, nice to meet you. My name is Missy Gordon. I go by the Meta Mystic now, right? I am a musician. You can find all of my previous music under Missy Gordon if you're interested in that. My ministry channel, I put all of those videos on private. That is what I feel safest doing at this time, but you can find all of my music. My Missy Sue Gordon channel has a lot of stuff on it. You can also just search Missy Gordon on Spotify, on really anything, right? On Apple, wherever. If you're curious, because there is a paper trail. But maybe in the future I will re-release some of those like ministry videos because I made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos. I did all sorts of series of teaching of the Bible and all sorts of things for years and years and years and years. But I just got to a point where I felt like I just had to take a minute, right? Anybody with me? Did you just have to take a minute? Everything felt so damn loud and you just had to be like, you know what? I need to ground myself. There were times where I felt like I was completely out of my body. Trigger warning. I need my clown nose. Where's my clown nose? Yeah, I'm carrying this over. So for those of you who are listening, I'm carrying this over from the first 2 episodes that I already tried to start with this podcast. I canceled myself, and that's cool. So, but I am bringing the clown nose along because I am a fan of that. And what the clown nose is, when we talk about darker themes, the Virgo is bothered by the chords. Okay, there we go. For those of you listening, I'm currently wearing a clown nose. What's the reason for the clown nose? It's so that we can laugh at ourselves a little bit while we're talking about extremely triggering things. Because I felt like I could not get back into my body during this deconstruction. I felt like it's the core of your identity. It's not like I became a Christian when I was 22. I'm 31, by the way, right now. It's not like I became a Christian later in life. I came out of the womb singing a hymn. Hallelujah. Amazing grace. How sweet the sound that saved a wretch. Yeah. Like me. I came out singing. I came out swinging. I came out saving souls, bless God. Right? So, with all of that said, honk honk, we're doing this. It's time. It's time for me to come out into the world and start talking about literally everything. So I'm glad you are here. I hope that you will stick around for the ride that is about to be this revealing of what I've gone through for the past over a year. I am glad I kept records. And I would love to connect with you, because we need each other. This shit's crazy. It's very challenging to uproot, especially if you've been raised in it. And even if you weren't, even if you became a Christian 3 years ago, a lot can happen in 3 years in the church. There is a certain element of like secluding you from the rest of society. It's a brainwashing thing. And I don't even want to say brainwashing. It forms these certain belief patterns in our minds where, you know, it's a tribal mindset. It's ancient. It's like we are the right one and everybody else is the wrong one. And, you know, we'll have cordial conversation with the male person, right? But we know they're going to hell, bless God. It's like, dude, how do you even live in the world after coming out of the church? That is what I'm on the pursuit. That is my pursuit. This is the question I have. How do we, as individuals who have deconstructed their faith or are even questioning our faith, how do we live now? How do we function in the everyday world? Because the things that were taught to us, whether they were subliminal or not, there's a sense of isolation and separation from the rest of the world that is hard to put into words. So when we're deconstructing our faith and we kind of lose our community, a lot of us lose our families, a lot of us even lose, you know, our marriages and are just alone in our thoughts, alone, you know, and we can go online, we can go onto YouTube, we can listen to podcasts. And thank God we have that in today's world, right? But there is a sense of feeling like, what the hell do I do now? What the hell do I do? What am I supposed to do now? How do I even, and it's not even like, it's like, how do you function? For me, I'll speak for myself, it has truly felt like I have not even known how to function as a human being. This is the only thing I ever knew. So, like I said, Amazing Grace out of the womb. I'm not gonna go there again. I already did my bit. In all seriousness, and I already struggled. Well, I'm gonna have to get the clown nose out again. I already, long before this deconstruction, for those listening, I have the clown nose on again. Trigger warning. I struggled with, you know, self-harm, suicidal ideation, addiction, all sorts of stuff, right? Long before the deconstruction, high anxiety, deep depression, couldn't leave my house for long periods of time, right? That's been another thing. This past year, I haven't really been able to, like I said, function in society. Like, I have felt the anxiety was raised to a certain level that I hadn't experienced before during this deconstruction, where I always struggled with anxiety. I always had anxiety, right? Hi, my name is Missy Gordon. I've always struggled with anxiety. But for real, it hit me to the point of, like, I've had a hard time leaving the house. And I'm just going to be very, very honest about that. Because there's this sense of, like I said, the church, there's something that, and it's subconscious for a lot of us. We don't really understand that. We were kind of taught, you don't want to fall into those traps of, connecting with worldly friends where you can, you'll be tempted to drink, or you'll be tempted to have sex before marriage, God forbid, or, any of those things. So a lot of us from a young age, I think it's safe to take off the nose now. A lot of us from a very young age were literally taught to stay away from anybody who's not in our close inner circle, right? In the church, in our youth groups, in our families. And so now when a lot of us are deconstructing, it's like, what the hell? It's not just a simple snap fix, like it's okay, I'm not a Christian anymore, or I'm questioning Christianity at the very least, and it's like, okay, now it's just simple as that. I changed my brain, I changed my mind, so now I'm just gonna go back into society and it's all gonna be fine. It's like some of us have never been in society. I was homeschooled for a lot of my life. I'll speak for myself. Some of us don't even know how to function in society, right? So I love Ex Diaries. Search her on YouTube. Love her content. And she talks about being homeschooled, raised in that. I completely relate to that. And we're going to talk about all this kind of stuff on my show. But I just wanted to start today with the freaking basics. It has taken me over a year. And I've been on YouTube since 2009, folks. This is not new to me. But suddenly, during this deconstruction process, it's like I lost all my confidence. I felt like I didn't know who I was. I gotta put the clown nose back on. I felt like I did not have an identity, a sense of self. I didn't know how to function anymore. And this, what I'm doing right here, right now, is very natural to me. It always has been. But it was like it hit me in the nuts, this whole thing, where it caused me to feel like, what the hell is going on with me? Like, I would hit myself in the head and be like, bro, come on, hop to it. You got to get back out there. I know it's been tough for you, buddy, but it's time to get back out into the world. You got to tell your story. You got to start sharing. You got to start this podcast. And it's like every single day, I'm like, I got to start this podcast. I got to start this podcast. I got to start this podcast. You got to get out there, Missy. Come on. And it was just kind of like, I just couldn't, right? I just couldn't. So here I am. Grab my nuts finally, everybody. You're witnessing it today. But my heart and my hope and my mission now is to connect with you, because we need each other, and everybody responds in a different way to this deconstruction process. It is very challenging in many different ways for many different people. We all have different coping mechanisms. We all have different reactions, and we truly need each other as a support, because a lot of us do not have support anymore. A lot of us have lost our communities and our families and our spouses and our, maybe even our kids for some of us. Like, Mom, what are you doing? Dad, what are you doing? Jesus is the only way. He's the truth. He's the life. No man comes unto the Father but by him. Where are you going? Where are you going, Mom? Where are you going, Dad? I'm scared. Maybe it's scaring our families, what we're saying, what we're doing. Maybe it's scaring them. I'm scared for you. I'm worried for you. I'm concerned for your soul. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. We need each other. So, I'm going to show you some clips as we go along. I'm going to be pulling from some of that secret footage that I've kept, video diaries of, that I did not think I would ever be showing anybody, honey. Let me tell you that right freaking now. But I feel called to do this. I feel, and this could just be me coming back into, putting my minister suit back on. And I'm like, oh, I left ministry. I'm not a minister anymore. But here I am again, cycling back around to my same old, I'm back in my bullshit, right? Oh, man. I can't help it. This is who I am, whether I am a Christian minister or not. So thank you for being here. I am going to show you a clip from June 2021 of me kind of questioning things and thinking about things. This was right after I left my ministry, and I decided to just go full-time into music at that time. Little did I know all the things that were about to happen over the next year, man. And I have record of a lot of it. So I'm excited to share that with you guys. And I mean, excited. I'm kind of terrified. But I am here. I am queer. And I'm happy to connect with as many people as I possibly can. Because whether I am a Christian minister or not, that is what I have taken along with me post-deconstruction, is my desire to connect with what we used to call, or what I used to call, the body of Christ. Connect with each other. It's as simple as that. So here's this clip. And I will see you guys on the next episode. It has been Missy Gordon, the Metamystic here. You can also watch my tarot readings that I do if you are interested on my TikTok at the Metamystic. Yes, because I'm a TikToker now. I know. I am a TikToker, and you can get me at the Metamystic on TikTok if you would like to watch readings. So, without further ado, here is my clip from June 2021. Take care. Goodbye. June 16th, 2021. I just want to talk about this while it's like raw. I'm in this really crazy spot right now, but I also feel so like seen. So it's this dichotomy of like fear as well as extreme relief, like a weight coming off my chest. And this is what I mean. Since I stepped away from the prophetic word stuff back in May, I actually had this experience, and I'm sure any Christian would say it was from the devil, even though at the beginning of the year, the Lord's the one who showed me in May something was going to totally change, and I didn't even know what it was. And then when May came, I had this experience. It's almost blurry to me what it was. I just remember I walked into my bedroom, I laid down on the bed, and I felt the fear of God came on me. And I was just like, I can't do those anymore. It's over. The prophetic words, it's over. It's done. Like, it was over. And I felt this fear come upon me, and I'm calling it fear. It was just this powerful thing of like, enough. No more. So that was the first start of it all, where it started to like, change my perception. Because I was like, wait, why am I not doing prophetic words? Like, what am I even good for aside from, what I've done for years, even before YouTube? My identity was a minister, doing prophetic words and prophetic songs in my parents' ministry for 7 years. I did identify with that, and in ways I still do. And I've had years in the past where I go through these phases of being like, I'm done with the church, I can't fit in anywhere. They don't get it. They don't want to get it. They don't want anything to do with it. They just have their perspective and that's it. And recently, I've been sick of dealing with all that. And I've been on this search of trying to make my inner world more at peace, bringing all the parts of myself together, all the fragments. I've been reading Mastin Kipp's book, Claim Your Power. I've been reading this book, Psycho-Cybernetics. I've been watching videos from this woman here. I bought her book. There is an entire community, this community called Progressive Christianity. But I found her because I was searching on YouTube. I saw her years ago when I was looking into this, and I just discounted it because I'm like, you know what? It's great. I wish I could agree with her, but I don't. The Bible is the inherent word of God, and I'm just going to have to live in torment or in limbo or something until I figure out what the heck to do with myself. The longer my life goes on, I've started to be like, I'm sick of this. And then this guy, Phil Drysdale, that I have had on my Facebook for like 10 years. You know, he talks about deconstruction. And 10 years ago, I started looking into this kind of stuff, right? A couple years ago, I found Naked Pastor, and he's very LGBT affirming, and he used to be a pastor, and you know, it's like these people that I've just kept on my Facebook. And to be honest with you, I thought about taking them off of my Facebook before because I was like, I shouldn't read this stuff. You know, it's going to get into my heart and it's going to plant bad seeds and doubt, especially because I'm longing so deeply to be like accepted and to just live like who I really am in every aspect as an artist and a writer and a musician. And I felt tempted by those things. And now here I am again, 10 feet deep in like Phil Drysdale search on YouTube and like watching all these interviews with all these people, and there's this whole community of deconstructors and people who are deconstructing. They've been through hell and back like I have with my faith, all in different ways, of course. All these people have their different stories, right, of like why they started to deconstruct, and a lot of them say deconstruction wasn't even a word that they knew. And I've known the word, and I've looked at it as something really dangerous because when I was younger, I went through this whole thing of like, I read The God Delusion, I read Letter to a Christian Nation by Sam Harris, and I got really into like these atheist YouTubers and was just watching so many videos because this is when I was really coming out. I felt more in common with those atheists than I did with people in church. I remember thinking, these people are so smart and they have this like heart for people. I like what they're saying. It makes sense to me. And so when I was like 17, I went through such a crisis because of that. And I remember writing in my journal, there is no God. And then, of course, like 4 days later, just feeling like, well, of course there's a God. I'm just so disillusioned by the church. You don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch, yeah, like me.